going on, everybody? You're listening to another episode of Loud About Nothing. It's me, your boy, the fucking hottest dude in the podcast game, Sebastian Conelli, and as always, he came back again. Of course, he's here once again. The cute boy himself, Robbie boy. Robbie, say hello to the beautiful people.
What's going on, beautiful people?
We got fire today.
We got a fire guest. I'm excited.
You're excited?
Yeah, very excited.
I mean, this guy is the fucking real deal. This is New York in the studio. We got New
York
York in the house. Yes, he is the biggest Knicks fan in the fucking world. You know him from Humans of New York. Give it up for Anthony Donahue, a.k.a. Anthony MSG.
Wow, that was a hell of an intro.
That was a good job.
Thank you. I'm really bad at those.
No, that was excellent. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
I am really looking forward to this.
Oh, please. I'm so excited that you're here. You know, we have all these fucking comedians, and finally we get a fucking dude coming on.
Yeah, I'm funny, but I'm not a comedian.
No, you are funny.
I got asked to be at a comedian show a few years ago, and I did so horrible. It was like a show where, like, for sports team, it was an NBA roasting show.
Okay.
And this comedian, her name's, I think, Anne-Marie.
Okay.
She invited me to be on it. But it was all, and you had to, like, roast, like, a Bulls fan, a Lakers fan.
Oh, okay.
But let's say there was 8 people in the show.
Yeah.
They were all comedians, real comedians with lines, but me. So she thought because I'm quick-witty, which I am,
100%.
I would do good. I did horrible. These people have, like, real jokes and stuff. And I didn't know what to do. I got smacked.
That's good of you to admit. A lot of people do bad, and they're like, I crushed my first time.
Once I realized what the thing was, I said, Anne-Marie, I don't think I'll be good at this. And she's like, no, you will. I was horrible.
That's beautiful.
Because, like I said, it was all comedians.
Was she a Bulls fan?
No,
was
I
she
think
setting you
Minnesota
up for,
fan.
You think she was setting you up?
I think she's a pretty popular comedian.
It was Reggie Miller's sister.
Yeah.
I said, yo, you're funny. Do the show, bro.
I did horrible. It was spring 2017, so 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yep.
I have a question.
Sure.
When did you become the biggest Knicks fan in the world?
It's easy to say when I was born, but I would say in fourth grade.
In fourth grade, what happened in fourth? What era is this?
This is 1992-93 season. I had just moved to the Catskills.
Okay.
So I was born and raised in the Bronx, Duncan Street, North Bronx. I was living in a Jamaican neighborhood.
Fucking shout out Duncan Street one time, okay?
I was living in a Jamaican neighborhood, raised by my grandparents.
Uh-huh.
My grandparents got tired of the Bronx, and we went upstate to the Catskills. So you know, when I was living in the Bronx, grades kindergarten to end of third grade, you know, I look at my class picture now. There's Puerto Ricans, there's black people, there's Dominicans, there's Russians, there's Asians. I moved to Walton, New York. It's Brad and Josh. So like
Brandon P, Brandon S. Right?
So like I was kind of culture shock. I never saw that many white folk with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Oh my god! Wait, are you Italian?
I'm Italian and Irish.
Sure. Yeah.
But like, you know, when you're in the Bronx, it's the melting pot of everything. So you go in your classroom, you got the Russian kid, you got the Asian kid, the black kids, the Dominican kids, the Puerto Rican kids, the Italian. It's cool. It's great.
It's good for people to grow up around the tons of different
Italians,
types of
the Irish kids, and like I said, I moved upstate, and it's that. So what was really bizarre, so I was a Knicks fan, but my first love was the Rangers and the Yankees and the Giants. So when I was living in Walton, the starting center of the Indiana Pacers, Rick Smith, 7'4", the Dunking Dutchman, lived there. So everybody in the town loved the Pacers OD. And that made me like the Knicks even more.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm not fucking from here.
Right, exactly.
That's how you rebelled.
And then when the playoffs started in fourth grade, we were playing the Pacers in the first round. And something just took over my body, my soul, my spirit. And I wasn't just going to be like I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a Giant fan. I'm a Ranger fan. God, we're not playing well in the playoffs right now. Yeah. But the Knicks is different. I am the number one Knicks fan.
Clyde Frazier came to visit you in the middle of the night.
Exactly. Like, my screen name in high school was NYK1Fan2000. So I've always labeled myself as the number one fan. Now it's everybody labels it for me. Back then it was really just me labeling myself.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's beautiful. That's walk it until you can talk it. Or
tough
talk
years,
it until you
though.
walk it. I don't know.
Very well.
Tough years, especially as those
some
formative
good years in the 90s.
No, but it was a disappointment with
So
Ewing.
what's funny is that, so between 92 and 2001, it was a lot of fun, but a lot of heartbreak. So every year we'd get close, and you would just get, the shit kicked out of you at the end. You get your ass. You would just be so heartbroken.
Yeah.
So I never forget. It was a Nets Knicks. insanely photographic memory. So I'll never forget. I was at a
insanely photographic.
Yeah,
I was at 4K.
Yeah,
He's got a 4K memory.
I was at a Nets-Knicks game, December 27th, 1999.
Okay.
And at the time, the Nets, I think John Calipari just got fired. The Nets beat us that game. I was at the game, and that year the Knicks were the 3 seed. They ended up winning 50 games. At the time, the Nets had like a 5-20 record or something like that, and they beat us in the game, right? Wow. And their crowd was going pretty crazy. Like the 8 fans that were there, the Nets was over at Brendan Byrne Arena.
Of course, that's where I would have to go to Nets games because my parents couldn't afford to go to MSG.
Understood.
So we would go watch the Knicks versus Nets in Jersey.
But you were a Knicks fan.
Yeah. I liked Latrell Sprewell.
Best.
Yeah.
So I remember saying to myself that game, imagine being, 5-30, whatever the record is, and actually being into the game. I've never experienced that. All I know is my team being good.
Yeah.
Even though we never won a championship.
Yeah.
2001 comes, Jeff Van Gundy leaves, and then since then we've only made the playoffs 5 total times, won 1 playoff series, and rarely over 500 after Christmas in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So I've lived that life now the last 20 years. Like, we made the playoffs last year as a 4 seed, and it felt like we won the championship.
Yeah.
You think you cursed yourself that day?
December manifested, as the hot girls say.
Yeah.
You manifested this reality.
So it's crazy that before every season, people always say to you, "What's the goal?" And of course, the ultimate goal is a championship. But the goal is honestly games that matter after Christmas.
Yeah.
Give me. I don't even care if we're 2 games out of the last playoff spot in March. To me, that's a big game.
Yeah.
For what now, if you're a Spurs fan, that's not a big game. If you're a Lakers fan, that's not a big game. But for us, the Knicks, God damn, that's a big game.
Sure.
So it's been a rough 20 years being a Knicks fan. Now, the other side of that coin is that I have lived my dream life other than the Knicks losing.
Okay.
Being like, this, I don't know, semi-famous Knicks fan. I'm friends with all my idols, Allen Houston, John Starks, Latrell Sprewell. I've interviewed them all. I'm friends with them all. I can text them all right now.
That's truly amazing.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I've been at almost every game in the last 20 years, watched every game close to the court. I'm treated like a celebrity at the Garden.
Yeah.
I've lived this dream life other than, which is kind of a big deal, the Knicks not winning.
Yeah.
You're a god, but you're at a Sizzler buffet.
Yeah, basically.
MSG, you can't compare
the Garden
to a Sizzler
the Garden
buffet.
is not the Sizzler.
No, of course, the Garden is Mecca.
Is Sizzler still around? There used to be one in Parkchester in the Bronx.
Really? I remember my parents were like, we're going to stop going. It's not worth the price anymore.
My Sizzler growing up was Ponderosa.
Oh, that's
you ever been to a Ponderosa?
No, I haven't.
My grandfather loved it because you could do the ice cream by yourself.
I like that too.
For some reason, he got a big kick out of that.
Yeah, I would do the hometown buffet.
Yeah,
Have you ever been to that one?
Wait, that's what it was called, the hometown.
Hometown buffet. It was real trash, and they had Norman Rockwell photos all over it to bring a little class to the place.
A little class.
My grandpa would go, and he would get chicken and only eat the skin,
and
then leave the meat on.
Oh, that's bizarre.
It was tremendous. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a Ponderosa. There was some upstate, and there was one in Co-op City where I live. But yeah, that was a big go-to place growing up.
Oh God, yeah. I had 2 fucking buffets as a fat boy. My parents allowed me to have 2 birthday buffet parties.
Wow.
Like I wasn't gonna be made fun of Monday in school.
Yeah.
Like Monday wasn't gonna be a nightmare. It's like, let him eat as much as he wants today. He's gonna have a tough week.
Yeah. My go-to birthday party as a kid was Interstate 88 in Oneonta.
Oh wow!
Little roller skating. That was always fun. Always think of like this is how we do it, playing while skating around. Yeah.
Have you met Spike Lee?
Oh yeah, I'm cool with Spike. He's been on my show.
He has.
Yeah, we're friendly. I wouldn't say we're friends, but I have his number, his email. We're friendly.
He's a nice guy.
He's been nice to me always.
That's amazing. I love that.
He's always been nice to me. The first time we met was a really interesting story.
What happened?
Since I'm on a show, do you want me to tell it?
Never mind. Nah.
You met Spike Lee.
Yeah. So
we can skip that story.
It was a Knicks game, late November, early December 2010. We had just got Amari. The Knicks were kind of on fire. And I brought this kid I haven't seen in a while named Sean to the game. Okay. Sean was really big into film, stuff like that. So he was a big fan of Spike. So we get to the game, and we're there for like 15 minutes walking around. I'm doing the whole kissing baby thing. And so Sean's like, I still can't believe you don't know Spike. Now, I've seen Spike Look, Spike doesn't want to be bothered at the games.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I've seen Spike kind of tell people I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
So Sean was like, I can't believe you're not cool with Spike. And I said, I've never gone up to him because I like him. I love his movies.
Sure.
I would not want to go up to him and then have him like say, get away from me. And then that would hurt me.
Yeah.
So I just said I've never gone up to him.
That I respect that move 100%.
Yep. Because you could just tell that maybe he's not. And again, he just wants to go and watch the game. Like they don't put him on the big screen because they don't have to because he owns those seats.
Yeah.
So I remember Amari's in the court. It's like 45 minutes before tip off, and Spike is about 10 feet from us. And Sean's like, "You gonna talk to him?" I'm like, "Sean, I've seen Spike close up a million times. I've never talked to him. I'm not gonna tonight."
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Spike starts walking towards me, and I didn't notice, but he was looking at me. Sean's like, "Spike is looking at you." I'm like, "He's definitely not looking at me." He's like, "Ant, Spike's looking at
It's
you."
like the hot girl at the party.
Yeah.
Spike's looking at me.
Yeah.
Shut up. It's not. I swear. I'm just too ugly for Spike Lee.
So Spike Lee walks up to me. Anthony? I said, yes. He goes, love your show.
Wow.
I was like, what? And at the time, now there's 6 billion Knicks podcasts.
Yeah.
Back then, there wasn't many. And I was the original Knick fan podcaster.
That's amazing.
Oh,
know?
you had it was a podcast.
It was a live show. And then
Yeah,
right after
you did a video component too, right?
There was no video. It was back in 2010. So Spike Lee comes up to me. He's like, I love your show, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wow, this is an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
So then he says, when you having me on?
No way.
I'm like, I don't have a guest yet for tomorrow. He goes, well, take my number. I'll hit you up. We exchange information.
Amazing.
I get an email from him that night. What time? I'm like, 9:15, cool. I'll call in.
Wow.
So the whole day, and at that point, I already interviewed John Starks and Alan Houston, Jim Boeheim, Jeff Van Gundy,
Oh, wow.
Earl Monroe,
Yeah,
just to name a few.
Yeah.
So I was nervous going into that interview,
Of course.
not knowing what to expect. Is this going to be a 5-minute interview?
Yeah.
Comes on for an hour and a half. It was
wow.
it was amazing.
Because he wants to talk
Yeah,
shop.
it was, and I think now there's so many shows. Everybody asks everyone to be on the shows. Like, I'm on your show, but back then there wasn't. So I think looking back for all the big guests I used to get, I think that helped me. Because now everybody gets asked to be on everybody's podcast every day.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially during COVID. You want to come on my live? So anyway, and ever since Spike and I are cool, when my sister had cancer the first time, he would tweet about her,
wow.
That's
so again,
beautiful.
like we're not like, on the phone FaceTime each other, drinking, wine, but like we're cool. We are cool.
Yeah,
if he sees me, daps it up.
Of course.
We're cool.
I have so much love for Spike Lee. His movies are great, but also he was the first person to bring about like the different colored Yankee hats, the different.
Oh, I love them growing up.
Yeah, it like changed. I had a lime green Yankee hat. I was like doing all different colors, and Spike Lee was the first person to like bring this to the forefront of like that sort of culture.
Yeah,
I was just so excited. I was like, finally, I could rep New York and wear I like red. I like black.
When I was in high school, I had almost every color Yankee hat, and I always think now maybe Spike started it, but in my mind it was Puff that started. Puff and Mason them. I remember them always wearing.
I think Spike Lee put it in his movies, but yeah, it was definitely in
like in the More Money, More Problems video with Puff with the red Yankee hat. That shit was hard.
Still one of the best songs of all time.
It's a great, amazing, fun song.
Mace's verse is incredible.
Yep, absolutely.
I love. Yeah. So yeah. It must have been awesome in New York at that time.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was upstate, but I was in New York City like once a month. But I was the loud city kid upstate. You know what I'm saying? So that
sure.
it was cool. It was fun. It was fun growing up upstate. I wouldn't live there ever again.
No.
But to grow up in a small town, especially with my big personality, it kind of felt like I was a big fish in a small pond.
Sure.
And when I came back to the city right after graduation in 2001, I kind of had that same attitude.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of helped me to this day. 21 years later.
Yeah. You need to learn to get your swagger somewhere.
Yes.
Because you can't get it just from the city.
Yeah, so I think going upstate helped me because I went upstate grades 1 to 3. I don't think I was like not that it matters, but like popular. You were
a loser.
Yeah, I was a loser. I probably was. I was
a loser at 6 years old.
Are there popular kids in first grade?
Yeah, I'd be looking at some 7-year-olds and go, "Fuck this kid."
I was
He's
a loser.
fucking herb.
So I was definitely a herb first to 3rd grade.
I knew it. I didn't want to bring it up.
I played roller hockey. I didn't even play basketball yet.
Oh Jesus!
I played roller hockey.
Of course, you probably used the ball instead of the puck, or the puck with the little balls.
No, I was in a roller hockey league in 3rd grade, Waterbury Park, and the puck was actually electric tape.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, the puck was electric tape. So when I moved upstate, I was the loud Italian-Irish kid that cursed.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I was like, fucking shit, and how you doing, and all that shit.
Yeah.
So one of my first days living upstate, I went down the street, and there was this family that, like, super white Christian type family. We were like playing basketball or something, and I'm only there for like a week or two, and I come out guns blazing. I'm saying fuck every other word. I'm this little 4th grader, and then this kid Mark, his mom comes out and was like, "We're not in the city. You can't talk like that." And whatever. I was in 4th grade. I was 8 years old. She had a right to be upset, I guess. Yeah. So I went home to my grandmother, and I was like, this lady yelled at me. She said I was cursing, and I was. And my grandmother was like, not my grandson. And she went down there and she yelled at Mrs. Henderson and was like, my grandson would not talk like that.
Oh my God.
I 100% did.
Yeah. But for grandma, you can curse in front of grandmas and they'll be like, you didn't say that.
Yeah.
Really, grandmas are in the most beautiful denial about their grandkids.
Yep.
I love that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you were able to reinvent yourself as the bad.
Even though I was only in 4th grade, but yes, I reinvented myself by 4th grade. No, I was the kid. I wore my hat like this. Sometimes I'd even add a do-rag.
Oh my God! No, they had a PTA meeting about you.
All the time.
We got a city boy around here.
I always got in trouble in school, but never for like violent things. Like, for example, in 10th grade. Well, I was on probation all of 10th grade because in 9th grade I was selling liquor.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah. My grandparents had a liquor cabinet downstairs in the basement. And I wanted to be cool with the 11th and 12th graders. Sure. So, like, I would sell it. I eventually got caught. This kid ratted me out. I was on probation all of 10th grade.
Sure.
You sell it by the bottle, by the shot?
By the bottle. It was like liquor. I feel really bad about it. It was like liquor my grandfather got from like around the world. Really expensive. Probably wasn't the best thing. They weren't happy with me.
Oh
obviously.
Yeah.
And then like in 10th grade, for example, I was the only kid that had all the rap CDs because like when my grandparents would go shopping in Oneonta once a week, and I would give my grandmother a list of CDs, and she was in a wheelchair because she had a stroke. So I was never there, but I always picture my grandfather would wheel my grandmother into like FYE.
FYE, I remember that. Yeah, of course.
And she'd have a list like, DMX, Nas, we're looking for this, Method Man album, and she would go in, once, twice a month with a list of CDs to get me.
Oh my God! Everyone's like, "Yo, this grandmother is hard, bro."
Yeah,
this grandma's into Children of the Corn.
So because I had all the CDs, I would make tapes. And upstate, they didn't call me Anthony. Yeah. When I first, looking back, it may have been racist. When I first moved up there, they started calling me Antoine, and then Twan stuck. So nobody upstate. When I go to Walton now, maybe a little bit because I'm older. Yeah. But most people, teachers, families, they all call me Twan.
The teachers would call you Twan?
Some, yeah, Twan. So I called myself Mixmaster Twan.
Mixmaster Twan.
So you made mixtapes. This is when he was cool.
I made mixtapes and I sold them at $3 a pop and made bank.
Of course.
I'm in 10th grade with stacks in my wallet.
Wow.
And the best thing is I used to talk on the tapes.
Oh, you were doing skits earlier.
And I still have one at home, but the tape broke. But I have the cassette, the plastic broke. But I have the tape. So I was telling my girlfriend, like, yo, we have to figure out a way to listen to this. Yeah. So one of the most famous things I did on one of my tapes, so the town DJ, who's still alive, I'm still cool with him, Ron Golly, he was the voice of Walton, New York, right? Okay. Football, country music, everything. So the Mixmaster Twan Volume 1 was the first one I ever sold.
Your Funk Flex for the Catskills.
So I could probably get a copy of this. I think my friend, one of my best friend's brothers, still has this tape. I don't have this one. So when you press play, you hear a country song. And it goes for like 15 seconds. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you hear, it's me, obviously. And I'm like, this is Ron Golly back for WDLA Radio. And then all of a sudden, Mixmaster Twan breaks into the studio.
We got a skit.
I break into the studio. and I get in a fight with Ron Golly.
Oh shit!
And then I use the parts of Street Dreams by Nas where it goes I kill Ron Golly.
You're killing him.
Oh my God, this is incredible.
I killed him, and then I talked for I'm like, yo, what up? This is Mixmaster Twan. Welcome to the show. I'm 14.
Oh.
And then the music starts, and throughout the tape, I talk throughout it.
Sure.
And then the next tape was Best of 98.
Okay.
That I have at home.
Yeah.
Which we just have to figure out to get the tape to work. Ron Golly comes back to life on that tape.
Shut up!
This is incredible.
Shut up! You serialized it.
So I was selling this is before even AOL Instant Messenger. So I'm still mad at myself to this day because the run would have ended in a year anyway because of Napster.
Okay.
So Napster, right? That was the first one.
LimeWire.
Okay,
Yeah.
So now it's November, December-ish, January 99, November, December 98. I'm making bank with these tapes, right? Yeah. I'm selling them in the school grounds. I'm on probation too. I'm on probation and I'm selling these tapes. While it's stacked, I got $200-$300 at a time from tapes, not drugs, tapes, mixtapes, Mixmaster Twan, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So the principal gets word that I'm doing this, and they don't like it.
Sure.
So Mr. Riedel's like, Anthony, you can't do this. The weird thing was, looking back, is that I don't remember if he said you. He never said you. He was like, you can't do it, period. Looking back, it should have just been you can't do it on school grounds.
Yeah.
But he was basically like, you can't do it at all.
Because that was your creativity in a way.
Yeah,
and showing who you were.
So he would always tell me to stop, and I'd do it again, get caught, do it again. And then finally he called me into his office, and he said, listen, I've spoken to a lawyer, and you can get sued for copyright infringement. What? So I said, I don't remember this word for word, but I basically said, I'm paraphrasing a little bit here.
Okay.
I said, are you telling me that Nas, Jay-Z, and Fat Joe are going to sue me? I'm in 10th grade.
Yes.
And he's like, Anthony, no more. So I leave the office, and this kid, bigger farm boy named Joey Johnson, he sees me in the hallway. He goes, yo, Twan. I said, what's up, brother? He goes, you got any tapes on you? I was like, I do.
Oh, my God.
I pull out a tape, gives me the $3.
Yeah.
Principal's behind me the whole time.
Oh.
Back in the office.
Jesus.
So a few days later, I get called. I'm like the only person in school history to get called on the loudspeaker to the superintendent's office. And he's the superintendent, Mr. Mack, was like, you need to stop. Yeah. Completely stop. And I did.
Sure.
And it died. But looking back, I realized years later as my brain grew, I guess, I was like, why didn't I just tell people, meet me like fucking at the park after school if you wanted a tape? And obviously Napster came a year later, so it would have ended and CD burners came out.
Sure.
But I missed out on probably 9 months to a year of more bread.
Yeah.
And the principal lied. Like he had every right to say you can't do it on school grounds.
Yes.
But he never worded it like that. Or maybe he just scared me too much.
Yeah.
Also, you were.
I was 14.
This isn't the worst thing a kid could do.
Well, that's
pretty good.
We should support kids.
You were creative. You were like learning your own shit.
We have to. Do you want to see if I can get? We have to get that tape so we can listen to it.
Yeah, definitely. I want to listen.
I have the tape. Just like I said, the plastic is broken, but the tape obviously works. You could fix that, right?
Definitely,
I'm sure. Yeah.
If you
bring you could probably find a spot in the city that could do that.
So I was very creative, and so I was always getting in trouble for little things like that. Looking back, as I talk to like teachers now, 20 years later, they're like, "You were amazing. Like that's you had so much talent." Yeah, because back then, and maybe still now, people were so obsessed with school. So if you didn't have good grades, you weren't going to do well in life. And I did not have good grades. To be honest, I was in special ed. You want to hear a crazy story? Yeah. Would you say I speak well?
Yeah,
I do, right?
Yeah,
a lot of people even think I'm college educated. But dog, you know how many credits I got in high school?
What?
Total? 2. Half a credit each year for gym because they put me in special ed. I was in special ed all through high school because they told my grandparents I wasn't capable of learning.
Wow.
It's a crazy story.
That's
and
fucked.
but then it was interesting. It was my last days of school, my senior year. So I have like an IEP diploma, so I couldn't go to college. To go to college, I need to get a GED, which at this point I'm not going to college, obviously.
Sure.
And my guidance counselor, Mr. Preston, it was a few days before graduation, and he was like when I went to high school for 4 years, all I did was walk around the hallways.
Like, it sounds like you were the mayor.
I was.
You fucking ran that shit.
I was the prom prince.
You were?
Oh,
the prom prince, not the prom king.
I know. It's crazy, right?
We had prom prince.
Oh, did you?
Junior year was prom prince. Senior year was prom king.
Yeah, I was prom prince. I still have the crown at home.
That's good.
Yeah. And but I would go to school and just walk around.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'd go to my special ed class and I'd say, hey, I'm going to the bathroom, come back 30 minutes later.
Sure.
And I would always see my friends in their classes and be like, you know,
sure, at the windows knocking.
Yeah. And every now and then, at least once a semester, they would throw me in a mainstream class that I didn't even need to take.
Yeah.
So like my senior year, they put me in like 9th grade math for no reason, just to be there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's really, and like me and my friends talk about it now, and we're like, bro, that was so weird.
Yo, it's kind of fucked up at the school.
Probably.
At the end of the day.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm not dumb. I might need some extra help.
Sure, they weren't supporting.
Probably
not at all.
Was it a massive school?
No, like I think our graduating class is 85.
Oh, this is some fucking bullshit.
I would say it definitely had something to do with the fact that you were bringing rap to
Yes.
school.
Oh yeah,
and do-rags.
You wore a do-rag.
Yeah.
I had the earrings. I had the chains then too. You know?
Of course.
Yeah.
Did they?
The big Carl Kanai jeans.
Oh my god. When did you get the earrings?
7th grade.
7th, and you got both at the same time.
First one, I got this one.
You got the left.
I got you had to get the left first.
Because I only got the lefts because
I got the left.
You know.
Everybody knows.
Because that's
the straight side.
Correct.
Yes.
That's how it was.
Yeah. Back in the day. Yeah.
So I got the left in November of '95, and I got the right July of '96. Because all like the basketball players and rappers would have one in each year.
Yeah, I know.
So I felt I needed that.
Of course, you definitely. Yeah, I always want to get mine.
Do you want me to pull up a picture of Durag Ant?
100%. Yeah.
What percentage of the school would you say you converted to like fuck country? We're about hip hop now.
I would say a solid percentage. Like a lot of them love their country for sure.
Sure. It's interesting when you go so far north it
it's
becomes
like
the south.
It's yes.
In New York.
Yeah,
that's
it's
correct.
Fucked up. It's.
There were so many Confederate flags in school.
Oh my
I don't
God,
understand that.
Either do I. I'm like, y'all realize you live in the North, right?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with any of your
culture.
Talk
like they're from,
racism.
And they
talk racism. Yes, 100%.
And they talk like they're from Tech. You know, we're rebels, motherfucker.
With the dip and then
a lot of kids I knew at the high school dipped. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't even play baseball. It was just like
Yep.
Wow, that's so wild that you. Even as a white kid, you just brought that culture.
Yeah,
and they were like, we gotta bury this kid in
Yeah.
classes.
Sure. And the more that
they
like try to push you down, the more that you're like,
I did.
This is
you got more creative.
Yeah.
So back to that conversation. The Wi-Fi stinks. Back to that conversation. Hopefully we'll get Durag Ant before the show, end of the show. So it was like a few days before graduation, and my guidance counselor, Mr. Preston, was like, "You probably don't know this, but when you come back for your 10-year reunion, like most people are gonna be kissing your ass."
And they did say that?
He said that. My guidance counselor. I was like, why? He goes, you have something so special about you that you don't even know about it.
Yeah, that's so nice.
That's nice.
And I was
at
like,
least
right.
one person.
Cool. And I never forgot that.
Yeah, that's actually really beautiful.
And then 3 years later, I'm working for ESPN Radio.
Oh,
because that's a good story too.
What happened?
Yeah. Do you want? We're on the show. I should tell a story, right?
Yeah. Every story, you know what? Green light it.
These stories. Yeah, any story.
No, I know.
Choose my own adventure podcast right now.
We could keep going straight. Maybe find a new story. All right, let's do it.
Hold up. We almost got we got Durag Ant. There it is.
Jesus Christ, bro!
That'd be sick.
Oh my! And also look at the people he's next to. Just like normal ass.
Oh yeah.
And he's got the do-rag, the stupid ass face.
They are. Yeah, they're real hillbilly.
You were acting stupid all the time, huh?
Oh yeah. All the time.
That's good though. Having fun.
Yeah. That is. So ESPN Radio. Oh.
You can tell.
Oh my God. Look at you. I love that.
Yeah.
With the fitted.
And I think this one is like perfect. This is like in high school, 9th grade. Look at me compared to everybody else in the picture. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You were a different league.
Yeah, different league.
The fish out of water, but you made the water yours.
So throughout high school, my uncle, he worked for the Board of Elections. He was a director of personnel.
Okay.
So he always told my grandparents, don't worry, I'll have Anthony a job. Not to worry. Finished high school. July 2001, I'm working for the Board of Elections.
Amazing.
Like it's actually my. If it wasn't for me, there wouldn't have been a primary in 2001. I'm kidding.
No, of the state of New York. Of the state of New York, you're working for?
Everything. I ran the election show.
No.
So my uncle got me a job at the Board of Elections. I'm 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I was working at 42 Broadway.
You couldn't even vote, and you're working.
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
That's a fucking flex.
I got put in like the pension plan right away. Like, this is gonna be my life.
Yeah.
Like, you're leaving here when you're 65.
Of course.
I was ready.
You're in a union. It's the best. Anthony's doing good for himself. He's in the union.
Right.
Yeah,
and it was crazy because I've been visiting my uncle's job since I was like 10.
Yeah.
So my first day there in July of 2001, everybody's like, hey, you visiting in town for a Yankee game or something? I'm like, no, I'm working now.
Wow.
And I remember a few people said, oh, he's here for life.
Yeah, of course you are.
So the next 2.5 years I worked there, actually on 9/11, I was on the corner of Broadway and Wall Street.
Oh, wow.
I ran from the first building falling.
Did you really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been terrifying.
Yeah, I'm still messed up from it. I still have nightmares of explosions. I actually recently just got accepted to the 9/11 the thing you always see the commercials for
like the people who get money from the benefits.
Yeah, I have a lawyer.
People who had
like I have a cough that I have like a few times a day still. That because I went back to work 6 days later.
That's down there.
Yeah, at 42 Broadway. So
Jesus.
Oh wow!
I didn't know
I used to
people
live
were,
right there.
The 9/11 study, it's called. I think there's an official name for it. So I didn't
know people could go down there that soon after.
If you had a working ID. So I went back to work Monday.
Oh, you had to have an election.
Damn.
Well, yeah, I was running the election.
Yeah.
Besides the fact, because the 9/11 was on primary day, so I actually had to call Giuliani and cancel the election.
Oh, fuck Giuliani. Okay, through on this pod.
I was so. I mean, I was there at the Board of Elections when it happened. So, I went back to work 6 days later. I was not needed, but to get in like below Canal those days, you had to prove you lived there or had a ID for your job.
Yes.
So I went back to work 6 days later. So I was in the smoke. I wasn't like in ground zero per se, but I was 3 blocks
there.
away.
Yeah.
So
it was in the air. There was so much.
So around 2010, I started to get this like little cough that I just did.
There it is.
Yeah. So I should have joined the 9/11 study years ago, but I never did. I joined it last year, and my first appointment was actually supposed to be in December a few months ago. But to go, like everything else nowadays, you need to get a COVID test.
Sure.
I didn't take because when COVID was the most popular thing in December of 2021.
Yep.
I didn't get a test because I just wasn't gonna wait on the line for 3 hours. So I rescheduled I had my first appointment for the study in August.
Nice.
So like I actually already have a lawyer because they said if they even find one thing wrong with me, if they can prove this cough is from 9/11, I'm getting a bag.
Sure.
You might as well get that bag.
Obviously, I hope I have nothing wrong with me.
Of course.
Well, then again, I wouldn't mind 1% wrong.
Yeah. That was like 1%.
Yeah, because they said baseline for the cough could be like $40,000-$50,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was.
But also, audience members out there, a lot of people aren't from New York. Anthony fucking deserves it. Okay?
Yeah. So like
he's talking now, but he was fucking there. It was a scary moment.
But even if I have nothing wrong with me, I have insurance for life.
Yes,
I do.
That's actually
insurance
wonderful.
For life. Yeah.
Because the case is so many people are getting diseases, especially people that volunteer.
And I
there
went back, and
like I
said, I went back to work 6 days later, and I was there 5 days a week for the next 3 years.
Wow.
So anyway, so now it's a few years. I'm working, and I'm totally fucked up emotionally. I'm having nightmares 7 nights a week.
Did you go to like one of the counselors?
No, I never did. I kind of wish I did.
Is that a pride thing or like?
I was 17. I turned 18 November 17, 2001. I was just young.
I feel
I have a therapist now.
100. There was no one when I was 17, 18 telling me that therapy's good. I went to a social worker because I was doing a lot of drugs.
Exactly.
And they said, when was the last time you got high? I said this morning.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, he's not worth talking to.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. They go, he doesn't want to be here. Why? Yeah. And then my parents like, okay. And that was it.
So I'm working there and gaining weight, just working in an office, living the life. I was going to a lot of Knicks games and Ranger games. And
sure.
I was making decent money. I didn't really do any. I worked in the mailroom. Mm-hmm. Like I said, anytime there was an election issue, I would just call the mayor. No, I'm just kidding. So I always loved sports, and I was going to a Knicks game on my birthday, November 17, 2003, and MSG Network happened to interview me outside.
You do have a tremendous memory. I just want to let you know.
It's natural. I can't add 2 + 3, but this memory, it's crazy.
Don't
ever lie to me.
I have a bad memory.
Yeah, it's
and
weird.
My therapist is like then just be consistent.
Yeah.
If you have a bad memory, then you have to be consistent. If you have a good memory, you can lie all you want, Smash.
Yeah. So I get interviewed outside of the garden about the potential return of Antonio McDyess.
Okay.
And it was like a 30-second clip. And the next day it was on MSG Network. And my grandmother was like, "You're great."
Yeah.
And my uncle's like, "You're great." I'm like, you this could be a career for you, but I have no credits, no nothing, no school.
Sure.
So my uncle hears an ad on the radio for the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. He's
like,
Artie
Lang.
Yeah. So he's like, "Anthony, you should go audition."
Yeah.
So I go audition in January 2004.
Ugh.
I do an audition and I make the school.
Whoa!
Oh, wow.
I mean, to be honest, I think they accept everybody, but they told.
I heard 1% they accept. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. 1%.
We're saying that for the pod.
Yeah,
no one fucking knows anything that listens.
Exactly. So
very competitive.
I get it.
More competitive than Harvard.
Yeah. Yes.
100%.
So I go to the audition, I make the school, and I start in July.
Ugh.
They're gonna get you auditions. They're gonna get you internships. All this stuff. It's a 16-week class. I go to the school. And halfway through it, they're like, "Oh, we need your high school diploma." And I was like, "Oh, I don't think I have that." But I never really told them. And since the program was only 16 weeks, and I got really cool with the director. Like, he never asked me again. So I finished the school. I don't think I even did that good because a lot of the school was behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, I don't know how to edit shit. I'm still trying to figure out Instagram reels. Sure. I'm a great personality. I mean, like, I'm
100%.
But I don't know. I'm not good with the editing stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, I make it to the school in October 2004. And I didn't want to go to a News 12. All I wanted to do was go to ESPN and WFAN.
Of course.
Yeah.
I finished the school, and I said to myself, "Fuck it, at least I tried something." Back to the Board of Elections. This time I'm calling Bloomberg for election stuff.
Yeah.
Back to the elections. So I'm just there running the election show in New York City. And I get tickets for Yankees Twins game 1 of the 2004 playoffs. I believe it was Kevin Brown versus who was the pitcher for the Twins that was really nasty?
Santana.
Okay. It was like, that's irrelevant. It was game 1 of the Yankees Twins 2004. Sometimes I like to show off. Yeah, it was Santana.
Yeah, you two are showing off.
I think it was Santana. It was Santana versus Kevin Brown.
It was a light drizzle, 74 degrees.
It was Santana versus Kevin Brown. I think game 1, 2004 ALDS.
Okay.
Yankees lost. But anyway, so I get to the corner of 161st and River Avenue, and I noticed that ESPN Radio is doing a remote broadcast outside stands.
Oh.
There's the cough.
There it is.
Whenever
Throw it in the bag.
When I talk about it, it tends to pull up even more.
Yeah.
And when I don't talk about it, I won't have it for like 10 hours. So I see Wally Matthews, who was a host at ESPN Radio at the time, who I was a fan of since the 90s, who used to write for the Post.
Sure.
I see Tom Keegan, and I pull up to them. "I'm Anthony. How are you? Big fan of the show. Wally, I've been watching you since you were on Fox Sports with Jim Rome." So we're chatting for like 10, 15 minutes.
Amazing.
And I was like, "You guys need interns?" And he's like, "You going to school?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, call our boss." And I had to say Steve Hart, because they'll probably listen. Steve Hart was the director of promotions at ESPN Radio at the time.
Wow.
So he comes and says, "Call Aaron Spielberg." This is the executive producer for ESPN Radio. Call him, say you met Wally, Tom, and me.
Beautiful.
Bet. Call the next day. "Anthony, send me your resume." So I send my resume. I was a newspaper boy for the Daily Star for Oneonta. I ran elections. We're just gonna keep it at running elections.
You killed the local broadcast.
I killed the local. I'm 20 years old, but my resume is not exactly Fordham or Syracuse.
Sure. Yeah. You're beefing it up with whatever you can.
Yeah, I killed the local broadcaster, delivered to newspapers, ran some election. I canceled the election on 9/11.
100%.
I canceled it. So I sent it to him, and he's like, "All right, we'll let you know."
Yeah.
He doesn't hit me back. So I start calling him every day. I want to interview. And he said, one phone conversation, I remember he was like, "Listen, Anthony, I'm getting resumes from Fordham, from Syracuse, Stanford."
Yeah.
It's ESPN.
This is ESPN. I'm like, "Can I please have an interview?" He's like, "We'll see." So I'm listening to Wally and the Keeg one day, and they were taking calls on the Knicks. The Knicks season was about to start.
Sure.
I call in as a caller.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I think Jamal Crawford's going to help. The Knicks is here. And by the way, this is Anthony. We met. I'm really trying to get an interview there."
Oh, my God.
And they start laughing. And
Yeah.
I call back Aaron the next day. I said, "Did you hear me call the show?" And he's like, "Yeah, I heard." I'm like, "Can I have an interview?" He's like, "Sure."
Wow. Persistence.
So I go down. The interview goes to Penn Plaza. It goes solid. And he's like, "What are you good at?" I'm like, "Whatever you need."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I just want to work with like Michael Kay and Don LaGreca and Stephen A. Smith and Brandon Tierney. I just want to be around these guys.
If it's you're passionate about it, you'll do whatever.
So, he looks at my resume. It's like a page. I mean, or half of a page, or a quarter of a page.
It's a full sentence.
Yeah, it's a sentence. And he's like, "I'll let you know." I'm thinking I have nothing to lose. I'm like, "Can you just tell me now?" He's like, "Fine, start Monday."
Whoa! Wow. Hell yeah!
And he says, "You're getting college credits, right?" I was like, "Of course." So I start Monday. The first 2 months I work like 3 days a week, and then by January I become really great at my job. As like producing the show, booking guests, screening calls, being on time, being available whenever they needed me. By January, February 2005, I become the super intern. I'm literally working 70 hours. I quit the board of. My grandmother was like, "Quit. I got you. If you need money, I got I got you. We're not rich, but I got you.
Sure.
Quit."
Pursue your dreams.
I'm working 70 hours a week, getting paid nothing. Probably illegal, but who cares?
Definitely illegal.
I'm literally.
Oh, they didn't pay you at all.
Not $1
because they thought it was college credits, which
this is back in 2004, 2005. But listen, I'm getting coffee from Michael Kay. I'm hanging out with Stephen A. Smith. I mean, this is awesome.
You're living a dream.
I'm living the dream. And eventually, they hired me. But before they hired me, I remember one day this one producer there, this dude Ryan, goes, "When do you go to class?" Oh. And I was like, "Yeah, there's no class."
Wow.
And they're like, "Wait, you're not getting college credits?" Because I remember the boss one day, I vaguely remember, sometimes I'm not perfect with all I remember, he was like,
"Beautiful.
Anthony, can we get like a thing from your school to like fill out or some shit?" I guess the bosses do. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And he's like, "Wait, so you're not going to school?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Wait, were you ever going to school during this whole internship?" I was like, "No."
Wow.
He's like, "You really just wanted to get your foot in the door?" I'm like, "That's correct." Wow. And I ended up getting hired. And I worked there.
Sure, they must have respected how hard you worked for free, for no college credits, for nothing.
Nothing. And I worked there, behind the scenes for like 4 years. And later in life, I did a lot of stuff on the air for them on weekends for Knicks stuff in the last few years. But I got to cover the Final Four in Indiana. I was at like Jets practices, Giants practices. I was in the Knicks locker room, 21, 22 years old. Just a few years before, I'm on probation for selling liquor and I'm killing the town DJ. And literally 3 or 4 years later, I'm working for ESPN Radio.
This is fucking amazing.
And then I eventually started my own show. My first show I ever did was actually in 2005 while I was working for ESPN Radio. And my first guest ever was my hero, John Starks.
Oh, wow.
Want to hear the story how I got him on the show?
Of course.
Skip that one.
So, I decided to buy airtime in 540 WLIE. Listen, a lot of people do podcasts now. I'm always a radio guy. I'm a radio. I got pipes. I'm a radio guy. Not a podcast. I'm a radio guy. So I buy the airtime. Okay. It's a Thursday night. First show is at 11 o'clock. That Saturday morning, a few days prior, they asked me to work on a Saturday morning. This is when they thought I was still interning. And I was interning. I was producing the Dr. Rob Gottland morning show. And his guest. So I'm producing that show. And on my way to work that morning on the elevator on a Saturday morning, guess who gets on the elevator with me? John Starks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is my hero. This is my idol. I am like spazzing out.
Sure.
So we get to the ESPN's on 17. The Knicks are on 14. John gets off on 14, and he was like, I get off with him. He's like, "Do you work for the Knicks?" And I was like, "No, but I know this is kind of crazy. I'm doing my first ever radio show on Thursday night. Would you come on?"
Wow.
And he's like, "Sure, take my number." And I was like, "Your number? Like, you're going to give me your number?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Take my number." He gives me his number. First thing I do when I get to work, 5 minutes later, I update my AOL Instant Messenger profile. John Starks gave me his number. That's the first thing I did.
No cool at all.
Yeah. So by like Sunday, I start calling him. I want to confirm for the show.
Sure.
I must have called 80 times.
Oh, no.
Never answers.
Of course.
But it was him, the voicemail. I'm like, guys, I was even telling friends, like, I know he's not going to answer. Want to hear his voicemail?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So now it's Thursday night. I head out to Long Island. My first guest is going to be Brandon Tierney. He's on WFAN now with Tiki Barber, good friend of mine. So Brandon's even my first guest. It's about 10:52. I go on the air in 8 minutes. My phone rings from a blocked ID. I'm like, okay. Hello? This is Anthony. Yes, it is. This is John Starks. Did you still want me on your show?
Oh, my God.
I was like, oh, my God, yeah. I was like, oh my God, like it starts in 8 minutes. He's like, yeah, just have your producer call me. And then the show started, and 5 minutes later, the board op is like, he's on. And I'm like, oh my God, like my first show I've ever done, my first interview I've ever done is my hero, John Starks.
Wow. Do you have that interview somewhere?
I do. It's on like a CD at the crib somewhere.
Yeah.
And I've interviewed him a million times since. But I remember when I announced him, like the PA announced Mike Wachowski. I was like, number 3, John Starks. And since then, every time I interview a Knicks player, I announce them like that.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So that was an amazing interview. The interview itself was probably not that great because it was the first interview I ever did.
Sure, you're probably nervous.
But the first show, some people don't interview their heroes for 10 years. Or if they ever do.
Yes, if they
The first show I ever did, I interviewed my hero, and literally 4 years before, I'm in upstate New York, not knowing if I'm ever even going to have like any sort of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you two ever talk about how you called him 80 times in the future?
No, not really.
No, you just completely ignored that?
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yo, that's real, bro. He's just like, I know, he's blushing. I'll cut him some
my
slack.
first year or two of doing shows, whenever somebody would confirm with me, I'd always call them 80 times. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Because I was like so nervous that they were, but like,
sure, people cancel.
Yeah, but now, like, for the most part, I haven't done a show since G got sick in 2019.
Yeah.
But, the last, like, 10 years, when someone confirms, I just text them that morning.
Sure,
That's what you should do.
Yes,
that's normal.
Just say,
but
see
when
you
you're
later,
young, when you're young and, like, fired up, you know.
I know. Yeah, people are already doing you a favor.
Right.
They don't need so much time, you know?
Exactly. Also, people were more elusive then. It was just a landline. Or did he have a cell at that point? 2001?
We probably called him on a landline.
Yeah. Now everyone's very accessible.
Yes,
I would say.
I know.
Text, it's in their pocket.
That's what made me different when my show first started. Like now, you can DM Obama. You could DM Nas.
Sure.
Are they going to reply? Probably not. But you can.
Yeah.
Back then, even though there was some social media.
I DM Lizzo.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Back then, did you reply?
Nah, but I was like, you're beautiful. If ever you're in town, let me know.
Back
you
then.
gotta shoot your shots, bro.
No, you do.
You do.
Back then, if you had good guests on your shows,
it
was really like, how did he get a hold of him? Where now, for the most part, like I said, I can DM Nas. He's probably not going to see, but I can.
Sure.
Back then, it was like, it was really hard to get access to people. It's still hard, but it's way easier, if that makes any sense.
Oh, it's 100%.
So I was talking about it with a friend of mine at the Garden a few weeks ago, and he was like when your shows were popping, when you were doing the shows, like if I came back and did my show tomorrow, I would still get those same guests because I feel I'm way established.
Yeah.
But when I was on the come up, there wasn't a lot of shows. So like, fucking, like, for example, everybody's asking probably John Starks to be on their Knicks podcast now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All 8 billion Knicks podcasts would love John Starks on the show, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
He probably gets asked all the time. Back then, he wasn't.
Yeah.
So it helped me so much.
It was a little different because
Now there's just everybody has a show. Everybody's a brand. Everybody's everything now. Everybody's a food critic.
Fucking sucks.
So everybody. So I think what helps someone like what helps someone
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
You gotta do everything.
So much.
What helps me is because I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
So I can make a Knicks podcast, come back tomorrow, and I'd still slay the game.
You know what I'm saying? He's saying all you Knicks podcasts.
No, I would. No,
100% you would.
I would, but I'm kind of done with it for now. So it's just way different now than it was. If you wanted to do content 15 years ago, 12 years ago, you had to really want to do it. Like, I think you guys really want to do it. You really love it. I mean, look at the setup. This is incredible.
Yeah.
A lot of people that do content now or call themselves content creators, I don't know if they really want to do it or they just want a couple attention and a couple likes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They like
100%.
Yeah, they like feeling knowledgeable. They like being like, oh yeah, someone agrees with me.
Yes.
Or they figure out a format or like a meme format. They just plug in there. Yeah. It's
so I don't know how many people really love it because it is easy to do now. You can just press play, press live.
I know.
You know, times people say, you want to come on my show? And I'm like, all right, what's your show? Oh, it's a Twitter Spaces. That's not a show. I'm sorry.
No.
There's nothing wrong with using a platform like that, but I'm sorry. If your Twitter Spaces and your Instagram Live is not a show. It's a fine tool if you want to go live and promote something. I go live on Instagram like once every 2 months.
Sure.
And it's cool to spend an hour talking with people. It's not a show.
I've never seen anything good online.
Right, yeah.
The Versus was cool, but
that
produced
was
the shit out
different.
of
That was
that.
a real
Yeah.
shoot.
That's
That could have been on television.
It was, I think.
No,
eventually.
like,
Yeah.
it was, I think. Instagram Live, Twitter Spaces. It's a fine tool to use.
Sure.
It's not a show.
No.
It's not. I'm sorry. I know that may offend some people. It's not a show.
No.
Nah, fuck no.
Exactly.
Fuck 'em. All right. We got to talk about Humans of New York for a minute, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking that you do this. You tell your beautiful story. If people don't know, you should go read Anthony's story. It's truly, this man's has a beautiful story and a beautiful heart out there, right?
Yeah.
Truly a remarkable sort of thing that you read and you go, I love this man instantly. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Because family
It's good to be loved.
Yeah. Sure. You go, this man has importance. The values line up with what I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And that's really comes through. How was getting all those ass pics in the DMs? Tell me about the ass pics.
Listen, as I talked about when I did the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
90% of the DMs were heartfelt.
Sure.
Nice. Love the story. But there was a lot of people trying to seduce me, I guess.
Seduce. How would someone seduce?
What's trying to get me to go on dates and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was interesting. I'm used to attention, but this was fat. This was different.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, and
What was the thing about the park when you happened?
Oh yeah, so
you gotta tell me this park thing.
So obviously, Humans of New York is one of the most maybe popular platforms in social media history.
Yes.
So when you're on there, it's a big deal. I was out in Portland a few months ago, and 3 people stopped me from that read Humans of New York. They were not Knicks fans. They were Humans of New York fans.
Beautiful.
So so a few days before the story comes out, Brandon was like, Brandon, who runs Humans of New York, was like, a lot of people get nervous before this day because maybe they're not, attention whores like you. But he's like, I think you're going to be just fine. He goes, so mine was an 11-part story.
Yeah.
So one post every hour. That started at 9:30 or 10:30 a.m. So it ended about 9:30 p.m. He's like, if you want, just stay home. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no. So the first post I was home, and your phone is blowing up constantly.
My
from DMs to friends. Now, my @ wasn't promoted to the last post, so no one really found me yet.
Oh, okay.
The public. But my phone is blowing up. My pictures are everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's sharing it. So it's like I'm home for 45 minutes and I got to get out of here. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the Bronx. I go down and I post up in Central Park.
Close to the heart and soul of New York City, baby. I love
you're just
it.
sitting there, no phone, no book.
Well, I have my phone. I'm in my pocket.
Sure.
And
but you're just making eye contact with people.
It's a beautiful day. It's
amazing.
It's 68, sunny.
Yeah.
I was wearing a Knicks hoodie and shorts. It was anytime you can go hoodie and shorts, it's a great day.
Oh,
yeah.
favorite outfit.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So have you ever seen Joe Dirt?
Of course.
Okay, so when Joe Dirt is telling his story on the radio and everybody stopped listening, that's kind of how I felt.
Oh my God.
So I'm walking around Central Park, and I would sit for a while, walk for a while. Multiple people are stopping me like crazy. Oh my God, I'm reading your story. Can I hug you?
Wow.
It was crazy. Yeah,
that's a fun feeling.
It was great. And I stayed in the city all day.
Yeah, of course.
I walked around. I went to the gym. I didn't work out. I go to
You
Equinox.
didn't work out?
No. I just sat in the cafe.
Oh my God! You sat in the gym cafe.
Incredible.
You are a slut for attention. Jesus Christ.
Then I went downtown to Soho area.
You hit all the neighborhoods.
You gotta hit all the people.
You know where I ate?
The 5-borough bike tour.
You know where I ate that night? It's really good. What the fuck is it called? Wolf Nights.
Oh,
Great
yeah. Raps. Lower East Side.
Gourmet rap.
Gourmet
raps.
Gourmet. Don't get it wrong.
Gourmet raps.
Wow. I ate it, but I ate outside.
Of course.
So the whole day, and then for the next 2 weeks after, it was insane.
Yeah.
I went to Chicago the next week.
I
met 20 people stopped me out there.
Wow.
It was wild. And but it was for good reason. It was people really felt the story.
Your story's beautiful.
It wasn't just because I have a beautiful smile.
No.
It probably helped, but
definitely a little bit.
No, but it was.
He's a cute boy.
It's amazing that mine and my sister's story, in all seriousness, touched so many people. Because we I think me and my sister are the definition of love and sacrifice, and just being there for each other. So that really meant a lot, and people were really hit hard by that story.
Of course, man. It was truly.
Yeah.
Beautiful, and I'm sure I mean, it's beautiful what you're doing with her
Yeah,
legacy.
no, definitely. Every day I live, I honor her.
I 100% see that.
But,
anyone that knows you, I don't even know you that well, but like I know that you live for her.
Yes, all the time. But that is true about that day. I was literally.
Do you think she would have been like, get the attention, Aunt?
My sister.
She would have been busting your balls
my sister was a 180 of me.
Okay.
Yeah, like she listened to 80s pop music. She didn't care about what she wore. She didn't even use Instagram until she got sick. I was like, gee, use Instagram. She's like, just use yours. Like, like she didn't like I'd come out of my room every day and be like, gee, does this match? Like, what do you think of these sneakers? She did not care about any of that.
What are you rocking, the Flints, the 13s right now?
What am I wearing today? Yeah.
I peeped quick.
She didn't care about any of that stuff. She really didn't.
Sure.
She didn't care about likes. She didn't care about what the newest trends were. She didn't care. She cared about. I mean, listen, she fought for her life she was fighting for her life from ages 20 to 21, but she was fighting for her life between ages 10 and 12. The first time she had cancer, and then everything that happened after the next 7 years was tough.
Of course.
So she didn't care about likes on social media or the latest outfit or the latest sneakers or having the latest clothes. She didn't care. She really just wanted to live. She didn't care about posting where she was or but she knew I was into a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
So she loved that I was. Like when she was sick the second time, she's told me, she was like, I want you to document the whole thing on your platform. Because one of her famous quotes to me was, I'm fighting for everybody else. I want people to know that no matter what you're going through, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
That was her words to me for me to use my platform to show our journey together.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she was just a beautiful person, man. I miss her every second of every day.
Sure.
And I just do I do my best because I feel like no matter how much pain I'm in, and I'm in a lot of pain, it feels like it happened yesterday still, I have to keep moving forward for her.
Yeah.
I always feel I can't let her down.
Sure. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I mean, it seems like, and you gave everything you could.
Everything,
to her,
yeah.
And you still do.
Yeah.
Which is truly remarkable.
Yeah.
You still do.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, everyone should go read his story on Humans of New York. Or do you have it on your own platforms?
Yeah, if you go to my page, there's ABC has done a piece on me, NBC, the New York Post. So there's all different ways you can read about my story. You just go to my page and just slide through and read some of the posts.
It's there.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Yep,
Wow.
for sure.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Is there any foundations that you want to plug that you?
Sure.
Now I think would be a good time.
Yeah, the Iron Mat Foundation is a foundation that when families with kids that have brain cancer, what they do, they raise money for cancer research, of course. But what they do is, what they did for us. Yeah. So your child or your loved one's going through brain cancer. Send us your car payment. Send us your rent payment. We're gonna take care of that.
Oh, that's nice.
So the whole 11 months G was sick. The last time, I never paid rent once. I never paid my car payment once.
Because you were busy.
Right. They just took care of it all.
So what was the name of that place again?
The Iron Mat Foundation.
Matt.
And I was their guest speaker at the gala in September.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's because you constantly are giving back to the community. I see you at the hospital. You do the toy drive.
This year will be 10 years for the toy drive in December.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because G was a kid.
Yeah, she loved the toy drive. Yeah,
really?
It was a big deal to her.
Damn.
G, what was cool about my sister besides a million things was, so the last few years before she got sick again, a lot of days I would just drop her off at the clinic over on 168th, and she would just go hang out with kids with cancer. But you know what's interesting about that though? There's no posts about it. There's no photos.
Sure.
Yeah.
And this is someone who, now, if she posted about it, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't thought anything of it. But think about it. She's 18, 17, 16, 19, doing these things really because she just wanted to.
Yeah.
She was giving back because she knew what it felt like.
Yeah, but she didn't do it for attention. How many people would
No one.
Not now and me and my girlfriend talk about this a lot. Like sometimes when you do good things, you have to say post it to promote it because maybe I'll use the toy drive for example.
Sure. Yes.
I have to post that a lot the month leading up because I need to get people there to get toys.
Yeah.
But like she always says, holding the turkey the day before Thanksgiving on a line, that's cheesy.
Yes.
So you have but my sister did none of that. She would just go and read to kids that had cancer or teach them how to fucking knit.
Yeah.
And she didn't never took any pictures of it. Yeah. Didn't want any credit.
It's also different. You're using your platform for good.
I try to. Yes, I try to.
Your influence.
I try to always think of that stuff because I do use social media a lot. I never want to be I'm doing this just to promote myself. I try to do it for a reason because some people people love to post that holding that turkey that Wednesday before Thanksgiving with a homeless person.
Yeah,
you've seen those posts.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. You also have the kid who killed Ron Galley inside of you.
I do.
You have creative. You've always been somebody who wants to do your creativity.
I'm very cool with Ron.
Yeah,
I figured.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got to be proud.
He is. No, Ron. Ron reaches out to me a lot. You want to see Ron?
Yeah, let's see a pic of this.
How's he doing today?
I think he's still on the mic in Walton.
Of course, he's a legend. You know.
You don't give that up.
No, that's a job.
This is Ron.
Oh, he's got Bill Nye vibes.
Yeah, he does have some Bill Nye vibes.
Yeah.
That's Ron. Good guy. I have a picture with him. Let me see if I can find it. Ron Golly.
This is amazing.
Ron, actually, I forgot he interviewed me in the summer of 2016.
Oh.
Ron interviewed me.
That's awesome.
On WDLA. I forgot about that.
Oh, wow.
Everything came full circle for you guys.
Yeah.
I killed him.
He's back again. Third time resurrected.
And you told him about those tapes.
No, he does not know. There's Ron again.
Oh, my God. Oh, look at you.
You see my hat in Walton? Look at my hat.
What is this? Compton?
When I go up there, I always try to be a little extra.
Yeah, because you got the flair. You're the kid with the flair.
Yeah.
Oh, this was beautiful, Anthony.
It was. We could have did this for hours and hours 100%.
I want you got to come back on.
Yeah,
I would love to come back on.
Yeah, I want you to come back on because there's stuff we didn't even get to talk to you about.
No, and I'll have to bring that tape. I know where it is.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
You guys bring it to a record store. And
I would imagine.
Because the tape is fine. It's the plastic that broke.
Bro, we gotta get this tape.
Yes.
We gotta get this tape.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I love this
the
so
tape,
much.
like I said, the tape I have at home is Ron Golly coming back to life.
Okay.
Oh,
this is incredible.
I can probably get the one that I killed him from somebody else, but the one I have at home is him coming back to life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I mean, I miss skits on CDs.
I did a skit for Jadakiss.
Really?
Whoa.
Before we wrap up, we gotta hear this.
I'm on a Jadakiss album in 2015. I say my name twice.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, one of the coolest things about that was a few days after the album came out, I was at a Knicks game and Carmelo Anthony left the layup line and was like, "Yo, dog, you killed it on that skit."
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, Carmelo coming through.
So yeah, I met Kiss back like 11, 12 years ago. We always just stayed friendly, and they needed a voice for a skit on the Top 5 Dead or Alive album, and they called me.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
And I say it's me interviewing like a different character, but I get to say my name. I'm like, this is Anthony Donahue. And I'm like, not Stephen A. Smith, not Larry King, not Oprah has this exclusive interview I'm about to conduct.
Wow.
And then I interview this like character.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
But then I say my name at the end again. Well, the thing is, I'm waiting for my check from Def Jam still.
I heard they're a little stingy.
You gotta bring it up with Snoop, right?
Yeah, I don't know if
he run that shit.
Does he? I'm waiting for because I have credit as writer and voice.
Oh.
Yeah, I have not got my check yet.
And this was how many years ago?
2015.
Damn.
I would now just for the record, I would have did it for free.
Of course.
Sure.
And
Fuck
I don't really care about the money. It's just funny.
Sure.
It's just funny to end the story with I'm still waiting for my check.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And then
if
a kid from the Bronx is like a fucking dream.
Yep. So if you go to the Top 5 Dead or Alive album that dropped in 2015, it's track 12. So yep.
I wish I knew that. I would have given you that as your biggest credit. At
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's did you record it in like a music studio or was
he was there. They were all smoking. I don't smoke. I definitely had a contact that day.
Yeah.
He was there. Styles was there. Chic was there.
Oh my God.
That's so cool.
Yeah, you know who was there? Rook from Justice
How do you
League.
not smoke weed with Styles Payne?
I used to smoke.
How do you not smoke weed? I get high.
I've been around those guys and they're smoking all the time.
Uh-huh.
I used to smoke in high school.
Yeah.
Like do-rag gang used to smoke.
Yeah.
But I have nothing against weed. I actually love the smell of it, but it would make me nervous.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't smoked since 2006.
Sure.
When I was at Summer Jam. Last time I smoked, I was at 2000.
Who were you on?
It was Wu-Tang, Cameron, Mary J. Blige. You know, by the way,
what a fucking lineup.
You know how you know you're old? Like Summer Jam just came out the other day for the lineup. I knew like one artist.
Wow. Oh no, yeah, that sucks.
Like Pusha.
Oh, God. New album's incredible.
It's one of the best albums I've heard in a while.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna go all the way to Summer Jam. I didn't know anything. I'm too old for that now.
Sure.
You know,
I feel you.
You know,
it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm done with Summer Jam.
You can't go.
Last time I went was like 2017, and I knew most of the artists there.
Yeah.
But 5 years later, a lot's changed.
Oh, definitely.
Have you met Funk Flex?
I think I've met him in a Knicks game.
You must know every New York celebrity there.
I know a lot. Yeah, for sure. And everybody knows. I feel like I don't know what my face looks like to others, but everybody always says you have such a recognizable face. And I don't know what that means.
Take it as a compliment.
I do.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and the teeth. I think.
You have a beautiful smile.
Yes.
You do, and you know, you fucking know. You were waiting for me to say. You go, I don't know, and then you were, you fucking cornball. Are you kidding me? He goes, I don't know what it is about me, but people like me with a fucking little toothpick picking his teeth. You cute fuck. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, what do you want to plug?
Just, check out my social media, Anthony MSG on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm always up to something. I got a documentary coming out soon. I'm going to be announcing soon that I'm running the New York City Marathon.
Oh,
I'm not ready yet, but I'll be ready by November. I'm working on a book. That could be still a year or two away, but just go to my social, follow me, and see what's up.
Beautiful.
Keep listening to this podcast, Loud About Nothing. Also, New York is phenomenal. Anthony was on the show.
Oh, yeah.
We have June 17th. We try to do like a New York-centric show. It's very fun. Come out to that. June 17th. Caveat's going to be in the Lower East Side now, 9:30 p.m. June 17th. And then the third Friday of the month after that.
Beautiful.
Keep coming out to that and listening to Loud About Nothing. TikTok, YouTube, all the things.
Yeah, the TikTok's fucking brutal. Come help me,
I hate TikTok.
Help me, guys.
I have it. I don't like. I feel like TikTok, like, it doesn't count if you have a lot of followers on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
No, I don't, because I don't use it that much. But I don't understand how someone goes on TikTok and they're on it for 24 hours and they have 80,000 followers.
Yeah. They do something viral. It's not even, it's
I don't like
it.
it.
No, you need to be funny. You don't need to be talented.
Yeah,
you don't need to be nothing.
I have the account, but like, I don't.
It's fun to scroll.
Yeah, I do that, but I'm not, I don't know. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm not knocking.
Not too much for me.
If you like it, you like it. It's too much.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, all you hotties. Keep on fucking sharing the podcast. All right, Robbie, hit the fucking music.